Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast.
Are you ready to go GNCC racing? Fans running to the fences, side by side. Borge gets a better line.
Oh boy, we got wheel to wheel right here, string. Oh, and Stu Baylor right behind him.
Russell gonna try to dive bomb down to the inside. No, can't get the line he wants. Duval is in control. We open back up. Here comes Neal once again. He's going for the pass. Oh, bumping going on.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rodney Cooper, and with me today, as always,
Brandon White here, guys. What is going on?
What is going on, everybody? We're back better than ever. We took a week off. We went to some races this weekend. We went to the High Point ATV Motocross National. It did not disappoint. We'll be talking about that here in a minute.
It was good.
Good show coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We got good show coming up. We got two awesome guests coming on the line. We got ATV XC1 GNCC Pro Austin Abney coming on the line. We also have XC2 Dirt Bike Pro Liam Draper coming on the line, and we're going to be excited talking to those guys about some good racing.
Coming in hot.
Before we get going, though, we got to thank our awesome sponsors. Guts Racing, since 1985, they've been a leader in seat innovation and technology. You can get your Guts seat cover this weekend for free.
Oh, free?
If you win the Split Line fantasy game. So make sure you guys get your picks in. Make sure you guys get your team set. Stalk those riders out. Pick your teams. Let's go. Guts Racing has been a leader in seat innovation technology. You don't have to trust people like me. Trust people like Thad Duvall. Trust people like Joel Hetrick, who just is putting on a clinic right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, trust those guys. Those guys put the seat covers to the test, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. Seal Savers, they have been in the business for 20 years. First and original fork protection. They save the seals in your forks. They save the seals in your coils if you're an ATV guy. They save the seals in the forks if you're a mountain bike guy. Right. Truck, side by side. Anything you guys need to save the seals,
we're saving them.
Can't save them from sharks.
Just thinking dollar signs, guys. Saving dollar signs.
Saving money. Brandon's been using his at the races this year.
Oh, yeah. It's been great.
I've not so much been using mine, but Devin's been using mine. We pulled. Devin liked them so much. Devin Masters, he pulled them off my bike and decided to take them to go GNCC racing and loves them.
Yeah,
so
that's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And their products are already affordable, but now you can save 25% off of anything that they have. We're talking seal savers, palm savers, whatever, anything else savers, foot peg savers. You can save 25% by using the discount code SPLITLINE with a capital S. Save 25%. Sunstar chain and sprockets. I don't know what they're made of, but Brandon does.
Case hardened steel, baby.
That's why they are the best and strongest sprockets and chains made in the business. People like Brandon trust them.
That's right.
People like Austin Abney trust them.
Yep.
There's
a whole list.
I mean, they're the top of the line. Bryce and Neal, top of the line products, and they are sweet. And you can save a cool 30% by using this discount code SPLITLINE30. So get on there, save 30%, get the best sprockets and chains in the business, and get going. We also got to thank XC Gear. Yeah. XC Gear, we're going to be giving away another Mako 360 here pretty soon.
Oh boy.
You might get it on your ATV. You might get it on your dirt bike.
Or maybe a mountain bike.
Maybe. Well, a mountain bike's the Hammerhead 360.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. XC Gear, they're one of our newer sponsors, and I'm so pumped to have them on board. Yeah. Lance is top of the line person, makes top of the line products. If you want a great steering dampener bar mount, you look no further than XC Gear.
Right.
They make top of the line. They help you ride longer, stronger, faster, and just like everybody likes, right?
Isn't it a song or something like that?
When we finally make our commercial, we'll turn that into a song. I like that idea.
Yeah.
And then once you get all that stuff, I'm not going to steal your end of the show
good.
bit,
Yeah.
but we got to go racing at Mountain State Hare Scrambles. They just had a race this past weekend in Beckley, I believe. No, not Beckley.
Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Yes.
One of those B words. They went to Buchanan, had a race. Adam McGill won the ATVs, and our very own Liam Draper, that's coming on the line here in a little bit, he won for the dirt bikes. So I heard it was a great track this weekend. I heard there was a good turnout, and go racing there.
Yeah. I mean, it's where I would go if I was going to run some woods.
If I was going to run some wood, that's where I would go as well. I'm going to try to make it to the next round to Pitt and have some fun there. But awesome series for sure.
So how many times this weekend at the track did you get asked when you were going to race again? Was you like taking tallies?
A lot. If we saw you up at we saw a few people at High Point. It was cool to talk to people, and it kind of got it's like, oh man, like to be out there. But see, it's I never want to be out there until I'm at the track, and they're like, that's the part that's fun.
All right.
Well, I mean, like the work leading up to it, and like everything right now, it's just But let's talk a little bit about the ATV motocross at High Point,
dude. It was awesome. It was funny because me and my boy was walking around the pits, and we were in the chat right before the first practice, and we're like just talking and checking. We're gonna give Colton the fist bump and stuff, and we're just talking. Then I started asking about a season. He's like, man, it's just not what I want. He said, but I'm bringing my A game today. Comes out first moto, swinging whole shots, and we were in for a hell of a race.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Started off the day though. Jeffrey Rustrell, did you see that get off that he had?
Yeah.
That was gnarly.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I've only seen a couple of guys do it. Thomas Brown was really good.
Thomas Brown comes to mind when it comes to that jump, particularly.
But he was close. Rustrell was close. Just had to perfect it just a little bit more.
I mean, that's one of those jumps. If you don't know what we're talking about, Jeffrey Rustrell wrecked going into the roller section where you jump over the
tunnel.
Yeah,
you hit downside the first one like the dirt bikes do on the nationals, but on a quad.
Not even many dirt bikes do it though. Yeah, to be honest, it's a gnarly jump. It's a
blind jump.
It's a leap of faith, that's for sure. Yeah. Hey, Doug, let me know if the audio is sounding good. I am not sick, so that's concerning that the audio doesn't sound right.
Oh boy.
So if it's sounding all right, give me the A-OK. We appreciate the heads up. So speaking of the races, man. I tell you what, the first moto, like you were saying, just a barn burner, and it was so cool that he made the pass. Joel Hedrick, that is, made the pass. Okay, Doug said we're good.
Okay, cool.
That he made the pass right there by us going up the uphill triple. Yeah. Actually, he made the pass going down off that hill.
That hill was sick, dude.
If you guys weren't there, and if you've not been there, you have no idea how steep that downhill actually is.
Yeah.
We're talking like it'd probably be hard to walk up and down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Hetrick came off of that absolutely pinned.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to see just two titans in the sport just hammering it out. And then you had a really good battle for third with Bryson Ford and
Brandon
Hogue, thank you.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, dude, it was insane. Did you see Hogue when he came up that triple trying to make the pass at first and like literally got up on his back? Like the quad was up on his back, and we're like, oh boy. And then it settled down after that. It was pretty crazy. Talk about sending off the hill, man. Hogue was on it on the second moto coming off that hill. Like it was insane.
When I think of Hogue, like Hogue is one of those guys that rides with just a ton of heart.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see because like, if he could get a start and get up there, and we both raced at High Point. That track is pretty narrow. Yeah. It's hard.
One line.
It's very one line. It's hard to pass, especially on an ATV. And if you don't get the start, and then you get a bad start like him and Rustrell did in the second moto, your work is cut out for you for sure.
Yeah, those dudes in the second moto, Rustrell and Hogue, hats off to them guys, man, because they were literally last place, like half a track down, because I think they got together and tangled up in the first turn, and they caught the pack and they were working their way through. So hats off to those guys. They rode their butts off, and dude, it was insane. Like Joel Hetrick right now, dude, that bike is in. He's got that thing dialed. I've never seen anybody ride a quad like that lately, especially on a motocross track.
How about that little I don't want to say incident, but that little coming together with Rustrell. I believe that was like lap 2 or 3 of the first moto.
Yeah. Yeah, they both about
they both about came off the bike. That, you know, it was funny because of all the areas in the track, that particular part of the track seemed to be a little sketchier. We both noticed the braking bumps to the inside, and there really wasn't a lot of room to make a pass there. So it was surprising that he was able to even attempt a pass there.
I don't know how he pulled it off because his front tire hit the inside of the rear tire. And it about wrecked. I think the only reason he got the pass was like it almost took Rustrell off the track.
Yeah, I think if Rustrell, if he wouldn't have touched Rustrell, I think Rustrell would have passed him.
Yeah, coming back in
right there. But yeah, speaking of wrecks, though, did you see that wreck in?
You talking about the one where he hit that skip jump and on the start
stretch? Yeah,
he sent it.
I saw that wreck happen live, but the announcer's tower was kind of blocking my vision, so I just saw the bike cartwheeling. Yeah. So to see what actually happened, I mean, I believe that was in Brett Music's class. I believe
pro sport
class. So whoever that was, he was sending it. If you've not seen it, go to who has it. It would be Rip It Up Films. Rip It Up Films has the video of that, so check that out. It's pretty gnarly. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend of racing. Happy to be back at the track. It's been a while since I've been to a ATV Pro National, so happy to be back there and talk to some of the guys. Talk to our buddy Brett Music a little bit. We talked more about mowers than we did about ATV racing.
Old man life.
But I mean, Brett's doing a cool thing with owning a team. I love that the main sponsor of Brandon Hogue is a lawn care.
Right. There's no better way, and especially quad racing.
Yeah, you talk about, you know, that's a grassroots team, and it's so cool to see him being able to be in the position to back a team like that, and then have the rider, a quality of rider that can not only put it on the podium, but somebody that I could see winning very, very soon.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Brandon Hogue's got the heart, he's got the drive, he's got the talent. He's on a Honda. He wants to be on a Honda. Right. Because remember last year he switched to a Yamaha for a little bit.
Didn't like it.
And he wasn't a huge fan of the Yamaha, but he wants to be on the Honda for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what, man. Lawn mowing business has put a lot of motocross guys or woods guys and motocross guys through the races over the years. I mean,
you're looking at one.
You remember Josh Upperman? That's what he did.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, you know, he ran. I know Josh Upperman probably feels like it's been years and years, but
man, speaking of Josh Upperman, that's been a long time since we've
seen her. Yeah, but I mean, that's what he did through the summertime. I mean, a lot of people do it. You know, so
it's a good business. I've made a living off of it. So if you needed your arm, give me a call. But yeah, no, it was good to be back at the races. It was good to be kind of talking up with some old friends. Saw Michael Lancaster there. Yeah. So he wants to come in studio sometime.
Cool.
So speaking of coming in studio, this coming week, we are going to be having Jeff Harvey from Hardcore Harvey Motorsports and the Hardcore Harvey podcast. He's going to be coming in studio and hanging out with us. Sweet. So we'll talk to him next Wednesday at 7, and we'll see what kind of people we can get on the line to talk with him. So fantasy, Brandon, tell me about your fantasy this weekend.
Well, my fantasy was terrible because.
Can we sum it up quickly?
Real quick. I'll sum it up real quick because, you know, you sent me a text. Don't forget about your fantasy. I'm like, I got plenty of time.
You know, after I sent you that text, and the only thing that got me through and like hurried up and picked a team was the knowing that I told you, and it'd look really stupid if I told you not to forget, and then I forgot.
It was really bad. I was like, I'll have time between the races. I was helping my nephew. He raced this weekend, so I was helping pit him a little bit and give him some support. I was like, in between races, I'll throw him on in. High Point, T-Mobile, not a chance. Not a chance. I had like 1 bar, then 0 bars. They wouldn't even load up the page, so I didn't get any picks in.
These day races are just they're killing me. They're killing me. They're rough. So over at the Pulp MX side, Justin Groff took the win. Justin.
Yep.
Congratulations, buddy. You finally did it.
That kind of reminded me of Anderson's clap for Tomac.
Yeah. Justin won this week. Jay Bear took second. Actually, I'm sorry. They tied.
Ooh.
They tied. Kyler Murray took third. This is kind of like retro from last year, isn't it? These guys. Mr. Poopy Butt took fourth. RJ255 took fifth. Man, that doesn't seem right, does it?
No.
I squeaked it in the top 10. And I think the only reason why I did that was because I got both the first to the finish lines right. So I don't think my team did very good, but I got that. I got that cool 30 extra points there. And in the series overall, I believe Mason's going to take it. Yeah. I believe Mason's going to take it. He's up on GNCC 62243 by about 70 points. But so Mason, you're going to be winning some Steel Sabers. Congratulations. And GNCC 62243, you might be in line for a split line T-shirt. Mason as well. We'll get you a split line T-shirt. Mr. Poopy Butt is in third. Marty Steel Sabers is in fourth, and Justin Groff has bumped his way up to fifth overall. Yeah. So what happened over in the
over in the Rocky Mountainside, guys, B. Moretto, man, he has been on fire. He is right now holding it down with 789, and he's 705th overall ranked, with Jeremy DeWitt in second, McIvory in third, Ronnie B is in fourth, Guthrie 441 is in fifth, Jay Groff is in sixth. He's starting to kill it in both leagues. Big Ben is in seventh, MX Girls in eighth, not good, 898 and 9, and Jay in 10th. So we're seeing some toss-ups over there.
I didn't even play that this weekend.
I didn't play anything. I didn't get a chance, man. I thought I had time. I was like, shoot.
So let's just real quick just dive into the Supercross into the season. It's kind of like
I'm more excited about motocross now than I am.
I am too.
With the Dunge.
Yep, Dunge's coming back. We got the 222 coming overseas. It's gonna be a good season. I'm really excited about it. Tomac is kind of up in the air with the knee. You don't really know what's going on. I think he's gonna be ready. He's not gonna be racing this weekend.
No, he's not racing this weekend. He said he will be at the races, but he will not be racing this weekend. And I was kind of confused, and when he was, because I listened to him talk on a podcast and stuff. He said his MCL would heal itself. I
didn't know that either.
I was like, huh?
I trust his doctor more than I trust myself.
His doctor is probably way better than what I've ever heard. But I'm like, okay, dude, that's cool.
MCL's on the inside of the knee, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild season because, I really don't know what to expect. Fernandez has been training for outdoors for a while.
Like that dude, you can't count. And it's so funny. No one has mentioned him at all. It's been Tomac, Caroli.
We all suffer from short-term memory loss. We really do. We really do. I mean, Fernandez. There were some close battles, but he was the standout guy last year, head and shoulders above everybody else, more consistent than anybody else. And he wanted it more, it seemed like. And now he's been kind of away, quiet.
Away from the sport, and everybody's like,
if people forgetting about him.
Yeah.
You know who somebody else people was forgetting about that's been away and quiet and away from the sport? Kenny.
Oh, Ken. Everybody's like, well, everybody loves Ken, but
the two guys that finished 1 and 2 last year, are going to be coming in with
fresh.
I would say fresher than everybody else. Fresher than Tomac for sure.
How fresh is Dungy going to be?
Very fresh. And then Doug Kirk, thank you for mentioning that. Aaron Plessinger will be coming back as well. So I don't really know what to expect.
Right.
I don't know what to expect from Dungy. I don't know, because the thing is will Dungy have the pace?
Right. Dude, they said he's been riding.
I know.
And supposedly there's videos out there of him pounding sand tracks like the old days, and
I know, but
and all this. It's not race pace by any means. The dude can ride.
He can. I'm not taking anything away from him, but when you are in that pack of riders though, and that's an intensity you can't replicate. Right. And I'm curious as to how he'll do with that, because he was never the balls out speed guy.
No,
he was always the outlast you, and I have more stamina than you do, and I'll see you at the end of the race type guy.
Yeah, like I said, dude, the guy's always in shape. He knows how to get in shape. He knows what it takes.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like hard not to count him out. Yeah, it's been 6 years. 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Since he's been in a race, but do you think he does more than 2?
Yeah.
You think?
Like, I heard this on the Pulp Review podcast, and it was a really, really good point. Jason Thomas mentioned it. He said, if somebody is going to do just 2 random series, they're not going to do the 2 worst races of the year.
Right.
Him and Caroli are doing the first 2 rounds for a reason.
Well, they always say 2. I think it's because either one can go really bad, and then if the second one goes really bad, we're like,
we were just
just
playing.
having fun.
It was just having
this
fun.
is for fun.
Exactly.
For fun.
Just having fun,
Just
guys.
trying
Don't
it
worry
out.
about it. We're just playing around.
But if one goes bad and one goes really good, it's like,
And then are they starting at Paula or are they starting at
it's Paula.
Is it Paula?
Paula
Okay.
in Hangtown.
Well, the thing is everybody practices at Paula.
Yeah.
So is Paula really even a good definer of the
Right.
of the season? You see a lot of outliers happen at Paula. I mean, look at I'm trying to think of an example. Who almost won the 250s last year? It was
No, man, you're really stretching my brain now.
yeah, shoot. Anyways, but the thing is like Paula is one of those tracks that these guys practice and put so much time on that it really doesn't replicate what you're going to see at the rest of the races. So I think that one's kind of a washout, but if you're going to run for points, you got to run that one.
Right.
So I think you see it's an interesting tactic by KTM though.
It
having
is.
having
They they have to. There's no one else.
There's
no one else.
AP, and he's coming off being hurt.
off being in an injury, and you
What do
never
you think
know.
of Coop skipping?
He's got a lot going on. I don't know if he's going to have surgery or not surgery, or heal up from the last incident he had in Supercross. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
That's the my air compressor kicking on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's blowing up some tires.
Janky show.
I guarantee no one can hear that.
Nobody can
It's
hear
probably
that. It's
just
just
us.
us. Yeah. Doug, let us know if you can hear that air compressor that just kicked on. But jeez, what are we doing here? What are we even doing here?
I don't know. I ask myself that sometimes. No, but I mean, I don't think there's anyone else. And then did you know that Dungey actually flew over and talked? Like he literally left the country to go get these 2 races.
Because Roger DeCoster wasn't going to back him.
Right.
Because DeCoster was like, I've heard this before. You want to come race, but
yeah,
I'm not going to stick my neck out for you.
Right.
Oh, Doug says he can hear it.
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome.
Great.
When was that bad boy going to kick off?
Hopefully soon.
Nice.
What a crap
Nice.
show.
This is awesome.
Yeah. We're turning into the Bottleneck Live over here, just
This
winging
is
it. Love you, Mikey and DQ.
a good vibration.
That's weird.
Yeah, right. That'd be time for that good commercial.
Yeah, it will be time for a good commercial right now. So,
but no, I'm excited. So who do you think wins the last Supercross race?
man, do you think anybody can stop Anderson?
I think everybody's hoping Mookie will.
So stupid.
This is awesome. You got that set on a timer, don't you?
There
we
go.
go.
Okay.
All right.
Here in about 45 minutes, you'll kick on again. No, I would love to see Mookie do it, but man, Anderson, I think, is on kind of a statement right now because I think he would really like to win the majority races this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's tied with Eli right now. I believe it's 6 races apiece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 6 or 7. So if he can get that one up on Tomac, he can kind of pull what Tomac used to do, win most of the races and lose the championship.
Lose the championship, yeah, and win 100,000.
Do you think that if who would you pick to win the championship if there wasn't those mid-season mishaps?
I don't know. I mean, Tomac was looking strong until he hurt his knee, and no one knew he hurt his knee. So, I mean, that changes a lot. He was just trying to milk it to get through the season. I mean, they both were on different playing fields for sure. They both had their strong points, and I don't know. I think the biggest question is going to be who's going to get 3rd place between Barsha, Mook, and Muskin.
I think it's between Muskin and Mookie.
It's Bam Bam and Mookie are tied. Muskin's down like 8 to 10 points, but if those two have a bad race, he can steal it, and that's big money for 3rd.
He definitely could do that. That's going to be interesting. I mean, there's always little storylines to watch. I wish we had a championship to watch,
right? For
sure, though. Yeah. I mean, I think
Craig. We got Craig.
I mean, Craig's got to finish like 13th or something like that.
Oh, I mean, it can happen.
I know
he broke his foot in qualifying last year.
That's true. I think he'd ride with a broken foot this time.
I think I would.
Peg leg it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
So hey, let's switch gears. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk
We got
GNCC.
a
racing.
race.
Finally, we are a GNCC podcast.
Finally.
We can't be talking. I've been told we can't talk about Supercross.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit of GNCC. Let's talk about the Hoosier.
The Hoosier.
Hoosier coming up. You want to call it Ironman prep round, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They're going to Indiana. They're going to race at the Ironman track. I tell you what, ATV wise, I'm really excited about this race. I think it's going to be a good one. We got a good battle for the points right now.
Oh, yeah.
We got a good battle for the points right now. I think Bryson is in a good spot. He's won 2 in a row. And
do you think either of them's cooled off in this 3 weeks break we just had? I think they've both been pushing.
No, I think Walker and Walker does not like losing twice in a row. And now we're on the cusp of possibly losing 3 times in a row. I don't think he likes that at all.
Yeah.
And this track, I'm going to say doesn't it kind of favor Bryson Neal a little bit?
I mean, it seems to in the past. I think it's a track that everybody really likes. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they haven't liked Ironman. So, I mean, I think, Bryson's pulled out a couple in the last couple times over Fowler, but I don't think it was a big difference in time, if I remember right.
But it's a fast track.
Right.
And that kind of tends to lean more towards Bryson.
Yeah.
And I've also heard there's going to be a lot of rain there. There's been a lot of rain so far this weekend.
Right. Might slow it down a little bit.
Does that give somebody like a Hunter Hart the good vibes, or does that give the local guy of Austin Abney
a chance to
sneak up there? This is a track right here that is right in his wheelhouse. He's been amazing at this track before. I remember watching his championship XC2 run at this on this track, and I think he was close to finishing to a podium overall from the second row. So I mean, he's ready to go, and I'm excited to talk to him about it. Devin Masters, thanks for joining us, buddy. He said he's ready to go win.
Heck yeah. Is he riding the Stalker or the race bike?
Devin, what are you riding? Are we riding the Stalker or are we riding the race bike? Either way, you better have those Shield Savers on.
Right. Do we see a third winner this week? Possible. I mean, somebody like Cole Richardson, he won there last year. He could get in there and win. Devin Feehan, Hunter Hart, Austin Abney. I mean, these guys, like, you take Ironman, and it's kind of like a beast of its own. So I'm really excited to see what goes on at that track this weekend. We'll be watching from Racer TV. But then John Penton.
The following race, John Penton, we will be there, and we will be ready to watch some good racing.
Yep.
Are you going to race there?
Thinking about it.
You thinking about it?
Thinking about it.
Well,
we'll see how the weather is.
Yeah.
You know how I am.
We'll be there. We'll be mingling.
Yeah.
We'll have T-shirts if you guys want T-shirts. By the way, we're not out of T-shirts, but we have limited sizes.
Close.
So
we are close.
We are close to being out of T-shirts. So if you guys want a T-shirt, hit us up.
Yeah. My box is getting thin.
Brandon's box is getting thin. Mine is somewhat thin.
Yeah.
That just reminded me. I forgot to send Devin his T-shirt. I know.
Slipping.
I know. Well, you're the mailman now. You've been. Brandon's taking over the mailman situation.
I'll pass that on to my wife.
She does an amazing job.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. Oh, geez.
So we have a Tyler McNabb said he lives 45 minutes south, and it's rained all day Tuesday, and it's supposed to rain Thursday evening and Friday as well.
Oh,
might be a mutter.
It's gonna be a mutter.
It might be a mutter.
Definitely gonna be a mutter.
And that track is one of those tracks that I don't know if it seems like the water stands on the track rather than getting muddy. Yeah. So you end up running through a lot of standing water and a lot of slick areas.
Let's hope it doesn't turn into the last race of the year at Ironman.
I don't.
That'd be bad.
You mean 2 years? Oh, last year?
Yeah, last year. That'd be bad. Dude, I'll tell you what though, all the bike side is everybody's dude. Stu Baylor's back on the bike.
Stu Baylor's back on the bike.
I didn't think we were going to see him to like summer break. What changed?
Man. He's a wild man. He took fifth in the U.S. Sprint Enduro this past weekend. Stu, dude, congratulations.
You're gnarly, dude.
I mean,
gnarly.
And I don't think he's happy with that finish.
No, No. I mean,
I don't think that he's going to be racing GNCC till Snowshoe, though. I think that's the
Really?
Yeah, because I don't think he's ready for the 3 hours.
Oh, if he's riding a bike, I guarantee you.
We'll
he
see.
hasn't said, but
he he likes to play those head games. Though. He might
fantasy players, you better be ready. It could be a dark horse.
Yeah, you guys got until an hour before the ATV race to get your fantasy teams in, so make sure you do that. So why don't we get Austin on the line?
Yeah,
we
get
get Austin Abney on the line.
Yeah.
Talk to him about
Talk to him. Get some. See what the local boy has to say.
Hello,
Austin.
what's going on?
Hey, it's
man.
Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Show. Thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, for sure. So we're live right now. I don't think I told you at the begin with we'd be live. So welcome to the live show.
Awesome. Perfect.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate your time. And, man, really look forward to bench racing with you a little bit.
Yeah, we're ready for the weekend.
You good, man? So going into Indiana this weekend, the Hoosier or whatever, if you want to call it the Ironman prep race.
Yeah.
Is this your favorite track?
I would have to say yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I've had some good races here. And it's only about 25 minutes from home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I would say that's nice. I would say that's nice for sure. So, this being your second year in the pro class, I know that this year you're kind of been battling a little bit of back injuries, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not been the year we were looking forward to. But I mean, that's racing.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like, from time to time, everybody always ends up battling something, whether it be, bike or some kind of pain related. But no, we're glad to see you out there, and especially this race coming up. It's right in your wheelhouse, and yeah, man, it's awesome to look forward to this race for sure.
Yeah, we had a good run to IXCR a couple weeks ago. Devin and Bryson showed up, and we had a blast there. We battled all day. Devin ended up getting away from me there towards the last 2 laps. I tried to fight a tree, and the tree won, but we finished there, and had a good weekend. So we're looking forward to it this weekend. I know I can run better than I am. I just got to put my head down and just ride like I'm at a local.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy how you say that, because like everybody says like locals are different than GNCC, races, and it's just, it always blows my mind, because you would think like Walker Fowler's the 7-time champion, but like he'll go to locals and you guys can beat him, and it's like, what? How's this even possible? But it's just crazy to see how much your mindset changes from a local race to a national race.
Yeah, the mindset is it's a big thing, and it even goes to, it's kind of got a funny story for that. I had physical therapy for my back yesterday, and he was wanting me to do some stretches and some stuff with some barbells to just to see where I was at. And he's like, just go till you can't anymore. And I only made like a minute doing this exercise, and he's like, that's all you got? You can go run a race for 2 hours and you can only make a minute on this? I said, it's a mindset. If I knew I was going out here and you were going to test me on this, I would have came in with a different mindset. And, so there's a lot of mind game involved.
Yeah, it's true. And it's one of those things like, back when I was racing, you work out and you get your heart rate up to like what it is when you're racing. And it's just like, golly, I can't stay here very long. Right. But then when you're racing, it's a completely different story.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, the intensity level it blows my mind, and every time I wear my watch and I put it on, and I'm like sitting waiting to go on the track. It's like 190. I'm like, oh my god, like
she's 190.
You know what I mean? Right? No, but
yeah.
So I know last year was your first year on a Yamaha, right?
Yeah, we switched actually on summer break.
Okay, that's right. How we getting used to the Yamaha, or?
Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, the thing with the Honda was, I ran it for 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it the way I liked it. I had the shocks right. I had the engine package right. I had my intake set up right. And we're just kind of struggling with some of that this year. although every race we're learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we've gone through a couple pistons this year. We're learning how to keep the Yamaha, run at least 2 hours, and we've been able to do that. But at the end of the 2 hours, it usually needs a little bit of work to get her back to tip top shape. But
Right.
Like I said, we're learning to take with the good with the bad, and just get it figured out.
Well, my question is how, like, when you did make that switch, how much crap did you get from Old Man McGill?
Oh my God. I still do. I think he tried to call me about 2 hours ago. He called me twice. I tried to call him back once. He didn't call me. He didn't answer. So he must be mad at me again, I guess.
That seems about right. So, going back to like kind of the local thing, was that local race? Was that on the Ironman facility, the IXCR?
No, we don't race there at any locals. But
Okay.
It was down in Martinsville.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. Now, one thing I've always noticed is when it comes to the difference between locals and nationals, it seems like the tracks just develop differently. And I don't know why that is. I mean, it seems like the lines at a national are quite a bit different than what you see at a local race.
I would 100% agree. And in my mind, locals and nationals are two different ball games. Nationals is you go out there and you see who the fastest really is. Locals, you go out there. Don't get me wrong, you still have to be quick. You have to, hold it wide open. But you also learn who can get around traffic, who can get around the mud holes, and still make it to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at the Indiana locals. I mean, we've got a lot of, I would say, 75% of our tracks have mud holes in them. Like this last weekend, it was dry. Weather was great. It was like 80 degrees, and there was dust in the fields. And then it was just you go down in the woods, and it was just there was like 6 mud holes that were, I'm talking waist deep.
Oh wow.
So, and that's just an Indiana race. I mean, so you never know. You learn over the years which tracks are can handle the water, which ones can handle being dry, but then have the mud sections down in the field or in the woods. But yeah, they're two different ball games for sure. And I think some of it has to do with, like I said, at nationals, it's not wide open, but everyone is going super fast. And no disrespect, but at locals, you got some of the more laid back guys that are just out there 100% just having fun. And so some of the lines don't develop like they do at nationals.
Mm-hmm.
From some of that slower traffic going through. So that's kind of my point of view of it.
So speaking of that, tracks holding water, you're 25 minutes away. We getting a lot of rain.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've actually got quite a few texts today asking about it. Today sure. It didn't rain. But Monday night it absolutely downpoured. It rained yesterday. They're calling for almost an inch of rain tomorrow. And I don't know what they're calling for Friday, but I do know it's thunderstorms.
Oh, nice.
So I would say it'll be good about 6, 7 o'clock on Sunday evening.
Nice. Well, and it's funny because aside from, and I've never been there, but from what I've heard, aside from the Ironman facility itself, it's kind of a lot of flat land out there. So drainage is not really a thing for you guys.
No. And if it does drain, it drains, like I said, to those ravines and valleys down there I was talking about like 2 weekends ago. So it's very deceiving. They can look dry and great, and then you get down in there and it's just a swamp.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the training program been like this year? With the back injury, has that affected you? Did you come into the season with a back injury, or has that happened since the season started?
No. So it's been kind of a long-term thing that's just now catching up to me. I actually started training last October, probably. I really started training. I had never really trained before. Never really practiced road. So I got into it pretty heavy there, and I trained all winter long, 2 times a day. Was watching what I was eating, all this and that. And then that's when the back really started flaring up.
Oh, you need to go back to just eating whatever you want then, huh?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm back to. I'm not going to the gym, mainly because they don't want me to inflame my back more than I have to, other than races. So I'm back to, I just actually ate a foot-long Subway sandwich. It was great. And I'm back to doing my thing just normal. I had more fun with it that way. And when you're not having fun, you're not going fast.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm back to having fun with it. And that's just the way I've kind of always done it. So it did help me this overwinter, to get in a little bit better shape. I gained some needed weight, I think. But once we get this back thing situated, I definitely want to, start riding, a couple times a week. But we just gotta get my back kind of pinpointed on what's going on there.
Yeah. And speaking of fun, I mean, going back to your XC2 championship year, it really looked like you were having a lot of fun that year. And it just looked like you looked loose on the bike. You looked like you were just really enjoying the process of the season. And is that kind of what that we talk about mindset, is that kind of the mindset you're trying to find your way back to?
100%. You just gave me goosebumps for saying that. I mean, that if I could go back to that year, or even just having one more race to how I felt that year, I would. I mean, it was that year I had an absolute blast. There was a lot of talk of people actually being mad, and Drew and I actually being mad at each other, and basically crap talking. But at the end of the day, we were doing what the fans loved. We gave them good shows.
Yeah.
And that was by far my best, most fun season I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually our first year of having the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, that's when basically only our moms was listening.
Hey, speaking of moms, Mother's Day weekend is, guys. You get your mom something nice for Mother's Day. Austin.
Yeah. Brandon sending out the friendly reminder.
That's
there.
right, guys. Don't get anybody in trouble.
Yeah. But like that year, we really was like paying attention and like really like watching your year. And I mean, you put some amazing rides in, like consistently up there around that overall podium position. And yeah, man, it was an awesome place. And one thing that we've always noticed is it just looks like when you make that step from XC2 to XC1, everybody kind of goes through growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
And man, if you stick it out, like, you're one of the most elite talents that in this sport. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can put together in the future. Yeah, it's like you said, the growing pains. It's I'm sure Ronnie Rush can talk about it too. He's kind of going through it. I'm still going through it. I think anyone that's came up through John Glada, Hunter Hart, although some of them guys may have grew out of the growing pains quicker, everyone's going to go through it at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a different game starting with the big dogs, than being able to catch them first lap and run with them. And know if you're right there with them, you're beating them. So yeah, the growing pains are real right now.
Yeah, that's probably one of the roughest things to do is line up against a guy that you probably, looked up to your whole life, or not your whole life, but looked up to a good bit, and you're lined up next to him. You're like, oh, dude, like I gotta go beat him. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Like Chris Borch, for example. I got to run with him a little bit this year. Before I even started racing back in 2013, 2014 was when I just started getting into it. I remember going to the Ironman and him and Walker coming down to the final turn. And here I am, 8 years later, whatever. And I'm running with him, and it's like, wow, I'm here, but you can't say I made it because I'm not running with him. So
right,
it's a cool experience, and like you said, just kind of going through the process and enjoying the process. You definitely have to enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, you shouldn't be doing it.
Right. And that's a hard thing to do, especially for our listeners that aren't pros. And it's really hard for you guys too, because, most of you guys work full-time jobs and then also have to do all your bike work and all that. But even just for me, I have a son, and trying to get to the races and do my job and work on the bikes. And by the time you get to the track, it's like, dude, I don't even know if I want to ride. Like, daggone. Like, and I can only imagine for you guys, because like I said, you're probably doing all your bike work. You and your pit crew and doing all the work, and it's a lot. I'm sure you probably hold some kind of job, right?
Yeah. I work full time at a welding supply company, and then I've got my own weld rig that I do stuff on the side with. So I'm pretty much busy as I can be. So I'm actually right now trying to get my race bike for this weekend, top end in it and get it, 100% ready. So
yeah,
it's always, I do my best to not make it a last minute thing to get the race bike ready, but it does happen. Life happens.
Yeah.
But you can't complain about it too much because you choose to do it. So that's kind of how I look at it. But there is times I'm like, man, I am stressing myself out.
right.
Yeah. And these type of stories like this is what we love particularly about the
Right.
ATV side of the sport, especially is, it's as grassroots as it gets, and to see the love and dedication that most of you guys have for the sport, to where you're working a regular job, putting in the 40 plus hours a week, and then still finding time to run at the tip of the spear of the sport is just incredible.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this winter when I was going to the gym twice a day, I was getting up between 4 and 4:30 every day.
Mm-hmm.
Going straight to the gym, straight home, shower, straight to work, straight back home, gym again, work on, trying to get bikes built, do sponsorship, bed, and repeat.
Yeah.
And that, I did enjoy it. I did find a love for the gym. I've actually been missing it here recently. But I got to listen to my body too, because there for a while, I was like, so I was doing the 2 times a day, trying to build bikes. Even got a little bit of ride time in there. My body was beat. I've had 4 knee surgeries. Then my whole back thing started really flaring up. And it actually wasn't even until after Florida, I went and finally had my back looked at. And I'm not saying by no means my back's like super bad, but it's to the point where I can't run a full race and make it through.
Yeah.
So there's some muscle issue back there, and some swelling. So I've heard a couple different stories from the doctors. They're actually kind of frustrating me. But we'll get it pinned down and we'll be back.
Yeah. So what do you find time to do for fun between all those? I know racing's fun. I know riding's fun, but do you find anything other than the time to do anything else?
So I make time to do. I love to ride side by sides. So actually, this last weekend we were down in Tennessee riding. But I make time for about 2 trips a year down in Tennessee. Other than that, as my girlfriend would say, I live and breathe racing. I try and get her, take her out to dinner every now and then. But for the most part, it's work and racing,
Yeah.
So like when I said, you got to truly love it. I mean that because you live and breathe it.
Yeah. And the fun in it is, I think, a overlooked important part of it. We had Jay Shadron on, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he talked about how, when he was in XC1, he kind of fell out of love with the sport. And then when he came back, left the sport for a little while, came back as an amateur racer, he fell in love with it, and look how he's doing now. So it's cool that, you see that, like the love and the passion for the sport is really the driving force for you guys.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, we've all kind of like the growing pains. We've all gone through those times where you're like, man, what would it be like to live quote unquote a normal life where you're not going to track every weekend, you're not working on your bike every night. And I can't deny it. I've been there here recently. I'm kind of like, with the doctor's appointments, trying to get race bikes ready, and then going out on the weekends and, making it 2 laps like I did at Coker, or making it the whole race, but, riding 50% out there. But I know deep down, if I give up now, I'm going to regret it.
Right.
Yeah. You're going to wonder what if.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to do that. I've made it 8 years. I'm not ready to do that yet, but there does come a point in time where you're like, well, what would quote unquote normal be? So
I tell my wife all the time I'd probably have a big beer gut and probably own a boat.
That doesn't sound half bad.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, don't. I threw my back out. This makes me sound really old. I threw my back out a couple weeks ago with a weed eater. So I mean, back injuries are still going to happen. Whether at least yours is a lot cooler, right?
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I will say one of the main reasons I finally went and got my back looked at was, I mean, obviously, at the race I was getting frustrated, but I was vacuuming the shop there at work, and I've been over to pick the cord up, and I locked up.
Oh,
I was like, all right, I got to get something figured out here. I can't even vacuum the floor.
Yeah.
So I feel you there. I mean, yeah, it's always.
I've been there a couple times.
Brandon and I coach a C-ball team, and do you remember that practice, Brandon?
Yeah.
Ground like the day that I hurt
funny.
my back. Oh,
Yeah.
he was
I was
laughing.
laughing.
He was laughing. But he goes ahead and makes me hit ground balls to the kids.
Hey,
and when I would drop a ball, I'd have to bend over without
And it was
like
funny.
bending my back
And I would
over.
throw the ball back. I would roll it back to him on purpose. Like,
Oh man, I was dying. It was terrible. Backs are funny like that,
Oh,
man. And if you have a back injury, like, oh gosh, dude, I feel for you. It's a rough one.
Yeah. Well, and they're, the doctor's like, well, this is what's going on. We'll do this or we'll do that. And I'm like, well, all right, well, what's going to fix it? They're like, well, there's really no fix. I'm like,
right.
What do you mean there's no fix? Like, you're out here swapping hearts and people and you can't figure out my back.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really won't give me a straight answer. The therapy thing, I've been doing it for a month-ish now.
Yeah.
Which, it seems to be helping, but once you get to hit that hour mark at the races, it's tough. So,
and they're probably like, yeah, 2 hours on an ATV as fast as you can through the woods is probably not the best thing for it.
No, I mean, surprisingly, the doctor hasn't been like, hey, you need to quit.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're definitely like, do you really need to do this? I'm like, well, yeah, I do.
Right.
So, and unless you tell me I'm doing permanent damage, I'm going to continue to do it.
I think when you stop for gas, you need to like slap one of those Shaquille O'Neal icy hot patches on your back while you're getting gas.
Yes.
Or a TINS unit, like slap a TINS unit on real quick and put it in.
Yeah.
There you go.
There
you go. So, hey, we have a couple of listener questions for you since we're live. We had a couple guys reach out. Devin Masters actually wants to know, and if you will disclose this information, what is your handlebar height? He's trying to set up a Yamaha and would like to ride it up where yours appears to be.
All right, so I'm running. 1 second here. So my stem is a stock height plus 1.4.
Okay.
And I'm running Renthal CR High handlebars.
Okay.
But I've got my handlebars turned back quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that's my setup.
There you go.
You got to do a little trimming on the handlebar clamp bolts to not hit the tank, or to not hit the tank too bad. It definitely still hits the tank, but I still get full turning motion, and that's what I run.
So, man, I like the look of it better, and I always like the feel of handlebars, like kind of like how you're describing them. When the handlebars stick like way up in the air, it's just awkward looking.
I feel like I'm on a motorcycle with ape hangers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how guys run with that. They must run like standing straight up and down.
You remember the old 400EX stock ones are like up, kind of out. And
yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Oh, jeez.
And then Walker Taylor asks if you and him are still the most hated.
Oh, still the most hated. See, that goes back to the whole XC2 days.
I remember that. That actually reminded me of I kind of forgot about that nickname, the most hated. Where did that actually come from?
Oh man. So we were down in Georgia, and some of my buddies came down from Indiana. The one being Trey McDaniel. Him and I have been real good buddies for a long time now. And I ended up winning that race. There was some issues where I got protested. Ended up being in my favor. I mean, I won the protest. I didn't do anything wrong. It just there was some tension there, and he just out of nowhere said, "Man, you're most hated," and then made a post congratulating me for winning and hashtag most hated, and that's where it just stuck.
That's hilarious.
And then from there on out, like I said, some of the talking that everyone I said was doing, where everyone thought we were all really super mad at each other and we hated each other. That was really never the case, but man, the fans loved it. They ate it up. So any chance I had, I was always talking about most hated and this and that, because that's what the people remember and that's what they liked.
Yeah.
But at the end of the championship, Drew and I talked, we shook hands, no hard feelings, but it was a hell of a year, and that's where that came from.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to call it antics. What would you call it, Brandon? It's kind of like, you look at McGill.
Yeah.
And he's kind of the king of creating a show.
Oh yeah.
Or with him, maybe I should just say creating a scene.
Right.
Making a scene.
Creating a scene.
Yeah, creating a scene. But fans and friends and people just love it. And I really think that aspect of the sport is what makes people love the ATV guys. I mean, a lot of the bike guys are very serious and very strict. And you got Stu over there. Stu's a different breed. Yeah. And I really love Stu. I love what he's doing over there in the dirt bike community, because he's almost forcing other people to be like, lighten up, guys. Yeah. But you guys are really good at it. And a lot of people play into it. I remember, last year up at Snowshoe, McGill and Walker Fowler, who, a lot of people had always thought that Walker was a super, super serious guy,
right?
With just the, dedication, like he's the machine, but they were kind of playing it up in the streets a little bit. And I think that is really a fun part of the sport.
Oh yeah. Yeah. McGill and I, we actually had talked last year. We were going to get, he was going to get most loved and I was going to get most hated butt patches or whatever those things are called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never ended up doing it, but him and I have always talked, we always like giving each other crap because that's what the people like. And him and I know not to take it to heart. I go out there to the Brogle event he hosts every year. I said I didn't get to make it last year. I'm going to go this year. And we talk all sorts of crap out there and just make good content because that's what people like.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, he's very good at it.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah. And I don't know but it seems like you're one of his favorites when it comes to talking crap. So you must be pretty good at it yourself.
Yeah, him and I don't know if you've seen some of the Racer TV stuff where they did like the pro questions or whatever on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
yeah.
Mid race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So McGill actually went in right before I went in to do mine. And him and I had some of the similar answers that they probably couldn't air. And they started laughing, and so I said, you guys need to get him and I in there together.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you'll have to, bleep some stuff out, but it sure would have been a good show. That's for sure.
Yeah. Maybe we could get you guys on this show together.
Right.
That'd be fun. Yeah. We don't even know. I mean, we might have to bleep stuff out, but we don't even know where the bleep button is on this.
We don't even care about bleeps at this point.
we have one of these podcast machines, and we know what 3 buttons do, and that's about it. So,
hey, as long as it works, though, that's all that matters.
That's right. We
it still gets finicky sometimes.
We got our settings set, and then we took a picture of it just in case somebody accidentally ever pressed a button. So we are not the tech savvy guys that somebody that would be doing a podcast you think should be. Yeah. So again,
you make it work.
Yeah, a shameless plug. If anybody lives in the Bridgeport, West Virginia area that wants to be a what do we call it?
A producer.
A producer. Come work for us
for free.
We pay in t-shirts. So
pay in t-shirts.
That's
there you
right.
go.
That's right. Hey, Austin, man, we're not going to keep you any longer. We appreciate your time tonight. It's been awesome having you on. Fun talking with you. Hey, we do have one question though that we have to ask you. We ask everybody this before they're allowed off the show. It's if you had one fast food restaurant and one candy for the rest of your life. And now that you're off of the strict diet, this might be an easier answer. What would it be?
Oh boy,
He's eating
one
footlongs.
fast food restaurant and one candy. I'm gonna have to go with man. The candy is gonna have to be probably gummy bears.
Okay.
Those
Classic.
are good.
Wasn't that a
Classic.
McGill answer too? Maybe
That may have been, man, you guys might be brothers. That may have been a McGill answer.
related somehow.
Hey, they're good. Gummy bear. The fast food's gonna have to be. Man, that's tough. You can't put me on the spot like that. You can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
You know, I've always loved Chick-fil-A. I had Popeyes for the first time like last week.
You can
and
eat that.
It might actually be better than Chick-fil-A.
The Cajun chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And you can
freaking
get
good.
that one on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I still.
I'm not
That's
trying to
always my problem.
like Chick-fil-A is still bomb. I'm just, it just kind of came to recent memory. First ever Popeye
I'm
experience.
surprised someone hasn't like set up a Chick-fil-A truck at a GNCC race on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not Sunday.
That's right, not Sunday, Saturday.
Kyle says, "What a white girl." I'm guessing that's a choice. I guess that's a Chick-fil-A choice.
Oh jeez. Oh shoot.
Yeah. So, man, we appreciate you coming on the show today. And I don't know if you know this or not. We have a fantasy that we do
Yeah.
for
Yep.
GNCC. Yeah, and you've been a really trending pick. And I would say this weekend being at Indiana, you might be a solid pick. So
Yeah.
I would say you're going to make your way at least on my team this weekend.
Let's do it. Well, let's get through this weekend, get through the next couple races, and let's do this again when I turn this thing around.
Yeah,
All right, man.
absolutely,
Sounds
man.
great.
And like I said, we're planning on being at the
John Penton.
John Penton. So we'll try to stop by your pits and talk to you then.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right,
All right, man. We'll talk to you down the road.
Yep.
All
See
right,
ya.
later.
Yeah.
All right, man. That was Austin Abney.
Yeah.
Man, he was a good interview.
It was
That
very
was
good.
fun.
It was a very
That
good
was a lot
interview.
of fun.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones that we could go on and on and
Oh,
on
yeah.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if McGill was on the line. Oh man.
Well, you get him and McGill on the line, and I have a feeling like we might just have to hit the mute buttons on our mics and just let them go.
Yeah, we'll just call it like after dark, and just let it roll, or like
We'll do our
or
regular show.
Skinemax, or not Skinemax, but
Skinemax, Jesus, right?
that's awesome. I love it. No, I have to call it something like that, but HBO After Dark or something.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So yeah, we got Liam Draper coming up, man.
You've got me off track.
I
here.
got you all.
You got me off.
I don't think Doug Kurt liked your answer about Popeyes.
Popeye's bomb, Doug. I don't care what
Yeah.
you say, man.
Their Cajun mashed potatoes are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
crispy chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good.
I like the waffle fries though. Have you had the mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, it's bomb.
That's pretty mac.
It's bomb.
It's
It's
mackin'.
Mac Daddy.
It's Mac Daddy. Hey, I real quick before we get Liam on, I have a little bit of a rant.
Let's go.
Let's do
Hey,
this.
I've had some listeners talk about they want to see us do like a rant style thing.
A rant stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
They called. They even had a name for it. And if you're the one that sent this to me, sent this to us, claim credit because I forget who sent it to me, but it was what they call it, the 10-second tantrum. So what's your 10-second tantrum?
Well, my 10-second tantrum. It's not about racing or anything.
Mhm.
So like, I go to Dick's Sporting Goods, buy something. Would you like to donate such and such $1
To the
for
local-
this, to this? You go to the gas station. Would you like to donate 10 cents? Go to Taco Bell. Would you like to round up and donate to? I'm like, my gosh, like, do I have to donate to everything, or
Would you guys like to donate
then-
to the Split Line podcast?
right? It's like, but what I hate the most is, and a lot of times I donate, but what I hate the most, and I'm like, after I've got asked a question,
You almost feel bad if you
you
don't.
do, right? So I said, not today. And the lady goes, okay, like with an attitude. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, dude,
You tightwad.
I know. I don't know. It's just a rant. I don't know.
Doug
Like,
Kirk's coming in here with the KFC sandwich. Get out of here, Doug.
KFC.
We can't. KFC. KFC was here for you before.
He's out. He's an Ohio guy. isn't
He's
he?
an Ohio guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem. That's what it is.
Jeez, you
Those
Ohio
Buckeye
guys.
guys. Nah, I don't know. That was bothering me last week. I'm always at like gas stations and stuff for the job, and like I said, like you go to just every which way. Is everybody wants a donation? It's not bad. I don't mind donating, but it's just like after a while, it's like, can I get a tax write off on this or what?
You know, I've actually heard that some of those donations are kind of bogus.
Right. And that's
Like,
the thing. You don't know. Like Dick's
Well-
Sporting Goods says, go to your local sports team. Have you seen anything?
You know
Gabe?
what I heard? I heard like that Walmart will say, hey, will you donate to the Salvation Army or whatever it may be?
Yeah.
But they have already given a donation to the Salvation Army, and then they have you donate to them, and then they will keep whatever is extra.
Right. Like, I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of
I
crazy.
mean, I've coached a good bit of youth sports in this area. I've never heard one time someone say, well, Dick's Sporting Goods donated so much to you. Like, never heard that.
Doug says it's either the KFC or the Applebee's. So,
Applebee's.
well, that's the only place they have within 20 minutes. So let's get Liam on this call before we get this show too far off the rails.
Right? Yeah.
Dead air time. This
Dead
is
air.
great radio, guys.
Yeah. We were supposed to do a commercial, but
Yeah.
Hello,
Hey, Liam.
what's happening?
that's
Hey,
not
man, it's Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Show. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're live. I forgot to tell you that. I also forgot to tell Austin that. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show.
No problem.
Yeah, dude. So this weekend you were actually at the one of our local series.
He was 20 minutes away from us.
20 minutes away from us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we were at the ATV motocross race, but it was cool to see that you came in and picked up a win this weekend.
Yeah, no, it's nice to be back in PA and doing the local series. I did the Mountain State Saturday, then I went down and did the A-Works on Sunday. So it's fun to go to these local races and have some fun. It's a little less pressure at those.
Right.
Yeah, it always seems like the local races are kind of like just like a more laid back atmosphere, and you just kind of get to go out and just you still get a good workout in, still get the check clears from the series, and just get to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's so you can show up on Saturday morning for the Mountain State and just show up with your bike on a truck and just go have fun. Really,
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
to worry about biking tracks and all that stuff. It's good. I like it.
yeah, for sure. So, what all series besides the GNCC are you running in full this year?
I'll do the GNCC and XC2, and then the US Sprint Enduro Series in Pro 1.
Yep. And you were actually just in track 93 there for the US Sprint Enduro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, we were there. So these next few, well, the rest of the year kind of deal is all the races are kind of close, within 5 hours anyway of me here in Waynesburg. So it's nice.
Yeah. You're not too far from us. We're here right now. We're in Lost Creek, so
Gotcha.
down around Clarksburg, West Virginia. So we're right around there. Waynesburg isn't too far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the next weekend's Mountain State and the New East Coast too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. It's cool when you get to a lot of guys because the Mountain State runs on Saturdays and the New East Coast runs on Sundays. It's a really cool to be able to run both those series. A lot of guys around here do that because their tracks tend to be pretty close together.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Actually, it's funny. Their first round of the season, you could see the tracks like from one hillside to the other. They were so close to each other.
Really?
Yeah, because they alternate racing dirt bikes one day and quads the next day, and they both kind of just alternated like that. So I think like a lot of people like camped at one and then like rode over to the other one. It was pretty sweet, actually.
That's funny.
Yeah. So how's your season going, man?
It's going okay. It's going decent. I'm just coming back from a pretty big injury with my knee.
Yeah.
Started off slow. We're making improvements, but my knee's just trying to get it stronger. And I had a pretty good winter down there at the Shoals with Stu. I went down there because I knew there'd be no room for complaining with him with my injury. So it's probably the best place for me.
Right. Yeah, he dude, that guy's gnarly already back on the bike with the broken neck. So I'm sure he's probably like, dude, get over it. Your knee's fine.
Yeah, I figured he'd be back on the bike as soon as the doctor told him. I know exactly how he is. I lived with him for 2 years.
Oh boy,
geez.
I'm sure that was fun. That was a fun experience, huh?
Yeah, I came over here from New Zealand in 2018 and met him in the woods at a GNCC, and then 2 days later I was no longer sleeping in my Sprinter van, and I moved into his place for the next 2 years.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was wanting to ask you about your move over here from New Zealand. What was that like for you? And then, like, over in New Zealand, what type of racing were you doing over there?
So the race in New Zealand, it's similar. It's very similar to here, just not as big.
Uh-huh.
Like a hair scramble, like a GNCC in New Zealand, like you'd get 100 people to max. So coming over here was like you get 100 people in Sportsman A in the 10 a.m. race.
Right. Yeah.
So it's crazy just how big it was. But I kind of got to the end in New Zealand with racing where that was either come over here or race for fun on the weekends and get a 9-to-5 job during the week. I'd won some good enduro titles and cross country titles, and I actually grew up riding trials, so I have a few trials titles in New Zealand. So I got talking with Paul Wibley, and he got me contacted with a team, the old KR4 team over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to them, and we bought 2 Huskies. My parents bought 2 Huskies over here, and I came here in 2018. Didn't know no one, came by myself, and got picked up from the airport by the Colin Keegan, the KR4 guy, and bought a Sprinter van and lived in it for 2 months and met Stu.
Wow. I bet that was an experience. I mean, I can only imagine, I kind of like panic a little bit when I leave a state, leaving a country by myself and coming over, and especially at the age that you probably was, and experiencing a whole new lifestyle pretty much. Yeah. How old were you when you moved over here?
21.
Okay. Yeah.
Just turned 21. Yeah. It was a big change. Yeah. It's a whole different world. Everything's just so big over here, and everyone's super nice though. I met some awesome people, and now I have an awesome girlfriend and live up here in Waynesburg with her 2 boys, and it's like a family. I see my mom a month ago now for the first time, and I hadn't seen her in 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen my dad in 2.5 years still.
Wow. Yeah,
I'm sure that would be the rough.
I'm sure that would be the roughest part of this whole experience for you. Coming over here to a new country where you really don't know anybody, and then also being away from your family as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It's tough, but now I got some awesome people around me and a family around me, and it would be nice to go home and see my family and friends and stuff, but you can't. It's pretty hard to jump on a plane for 20 hours and just fly home quickly for a weekend.
Right. So I'm guessing if you lived with Stu, they probably didn't have a lot of bow fishing in New Zealand, right?
No. It's funny. I never really drank much alcohol, put it politely, when I was in New Zealand too. So
a lot of bush.
I got thrown right in the deep end of a lot of things with Stu. we don't carry guns in New Zealand either, and I get in Stu's truck and he's got a pistol on either door. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Like, what I get myself into, man? Like,
right? But no, there were some long nights bow fishing. I actually had a memory come off my phone that we were pulling in at 6 a.m. 4 years ago today.
Oh wow!
From bow fishing.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, those are some cool experiences, though. I mean, like when you've come over here, you've gotten some experience at the races. You've got some life experiences as well. When it comes to like racing itself, though, what was the biggest? Was it the amount of people, or was it the intensity of the races? Like, what was the biggest difference when you made the transformation over here?
I think it was the people, but the intensity. Like in New Zealand, it's a 3-hour race, but no one sprints for 3 hours in New Zealand because everyone works all week long and no one trains every day like we do over here. So no one's in shape like they are over here, and it's not a job in New Zealand. So
yeah,
like the first race, these guys are sprinting for 3 hours with average heart rates of 180. And I'm like, wow, like this is a big step. Like I got a lot to learn.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. Period. Even getting.
I don't know either. It's miserable Sunday night driving home. I tell you.
I guarantee it.
I'm sure. We just had Austin Abney on the line, XC1 ATV Pro, and we talked a lot about mindsets, and it has to be. You have to have a strong mindset to be able to focus on your lines and to be able to focus even what you're doing, because you guys are going so fast with such minimal chance for error or minimal room for error. And it's cool to see how you guys are able to, I think a lot of it's more of a mental game than almost anything.
100%. Yeah. I think 90% of it's, or 80% of it's mental. I mean, you can't train or put enough fuel in your body for it to last 3 hours. So that last hour all comes down to mental. And I've actually been working with, Steve Hatch's wife, Denise Hatch, lately in the past couple of months. And yeah, it's a lot of mental, and like people like Stu and Strang and Ben and those guys, Johnny Gerard is they're all so mentally tough. Like, I mean, Stu with his broken neck and Johnny, and I've seen Johnny like completely passed out on a finish line, but still won the race. It's, for the past 2 laps, he's been hurting. So it's all mental.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just that mind over body type thing. And hey, I see that your mom is watching. She just commented. So, yes, that's pretty cool. What time is it in New Zealand?
They're 12 out.
Man.
12 o'clock on Thursday. Lunchtime, they're on Thursday. So 16 hours.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sweet.
So
cool.
Having lunch.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you mentioned like looking up to people like Strang. And I was kind of wondering, is there anybody that you really look up to, maybe is kind of more of a mentor to you, as far as somebody that has had the same experience of coming overseas to do this? Is it somebody like a Josh Strang, or is there somebody else that you really kind of like look to for guidance in that area?
Yeah, I mean, Josh was actually the first person first pro rider that popped his head out of a semi at Big Buck in 2018 and introduced himself to me. And I think Josh has been with Simla, came over here from Australia and did the whole van thing, and now has a family over here and stuff like that. But Rory Mead was I watched Rory in New Zealand race and chased Rory around, and he was like an idol to me in New Zealand, and then he came over here, so it was even bigger. And I actually have worked with Rory for the past few years with the fitness side of things. He's right into that, and he's over in Ohio, so I try to go see him as much as I can.
Yeah, that's I was getting ready to ask like who you looked up to during your childhood as a racer, but
so Roy, that's
Roy
a really good example to be set free for sure. So, when it comes to the different terrains, how much different is it from New Zealand to here, as far as like the terrains that you were used to riding to what you ride here? And I know that the GNCC, you go from the sands of Florida to the mountains at Snowshoe, and like this weekend we're going to a fast flowing track like the Hoosier.
Might be muddy.
It might be muddy.
It's going to be muddy.
Yeah, I hope it's muddy.
It's going to be.
Okay, so you like the mud. So is that something that you grew up with, or is that something that you kind of...
I grew up riding in the mud and stuff like that. A good bit of sand riding too. When it was too wet to ride in the mud, we had another forest close to my house that was sand, but we don't have anything kind of like Snowshoe or Beckley, West Virginia, like the rocky races. Mm-hmm. But everything's kind of similar. You get your dirt races and sandy races and stuff like that, like Georgia. But the tracks never got rough, and we don't have quad races in the woods in New Zealand. So it was just straight bikes, and you only have 150 bikes on there. It doesn't get rough quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because the quads really aren't really. They're not popular really anywhere else in the world except for the East Coast of the United States. I mean, there is some over in the West Coast in the Work Series, but what's your like? What do you think? What do you think about like watching these quads and the speeds that they're able to run around these GNCC tracks as well?
I think it's absolutely nuts. I did a photo shoot with Moose a few years ago when Adam McGill was there, and I was like, he's like, take my quad for a while. And I was like, no, I ain't doing that. And I ended up doing it, and I did like half a lap at Stu's place. And I was like, this is the worst thing ever, because a dirt bike, you can get out of the stuff and sometimes ride the edges and miss bumps, but you got four wheels and you're a whole lot wider.
Right.
But yeah, I take my hat off to those guys riding those things as fast as they do through those woods that are beat.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy to me because I ride both. Like how like the quad uses certain muscles and the bike uses certain muscles, and it's just crazy how much different they are. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's insane. But
I've never watched like a live feed of quads, and I happened to watch the last one at Camp Coker. And I watched Walker and Bryson, and I don't know how those two passed each other so many times on a track that I thought was like pretty tight.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these guys is to be able to pass. It's remarkable, and to carry the speeds that they're carrying. Like honestly, Brandon and I have been talking about that championship battle this whole season, and like we're just praying like no breakdowns, or because like those two are going to. It's like watching two titans go at it.
Right.
So, real quick. So, when did you start riding? Like, who got you your first bike?
My mom and dad got me my first bike when I was, I think I was 2 or 3.
Oh.
I was riding a 2-wheel bike at 2. Pedal bike. So my dad's been racing his whole life. He's done 6 days and race like that. So it's been something that's been in our family since I was born, really.
Yeah.
Right. So when the chance to come over to America to race popped up, I mean, I'm sure like they were a driving force in, supporting your decision to come over here.
Yeah, definitely. The first year over here, I know it cost mom and dad an arm and a leg, and it was good. And I mean, it still cost them. They still help me out a massive amount over here. It's like insurance and visas and things like that no one thinks about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it adds up pretty quick.
Right. Yeah.
Now with my knee surgery last year, I got a pretty big bill, medical bill.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those. Yeah, that's a rough part. A lot of people don't think about, especially us Americans that are watching you guys come over from overseas, and we don't even really think about visas and all the stuff you have to go through to even race over here, and the money that it costs. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like in New Zealand, you don't. Ambulance and hospital visits are like free. Like my ambulance ride from John Penton 20 minutes down the road would have been free in New Zealand, and it cost me $10,000.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, sucks.
He's like, next time, just put me in the truck and drive me.
Right.
Do not take me in an ambulance. So how are you feeling at this? We're coming up on almost being halfway through the season. You came off of an injury, had a surgery and everything. How do you feel like your progress is thus far in your recovery and back to being, close to 100% or 100%?
Yeah, I mean it's going good. I lost a lot of muscle. I mean, I was around 79 pounds before I got hurt, and I lost almost 20 pounds in muscle. So
wow.
I was super weak. My knee's still very weak. I'm just working hard to try and get it stronger, and it's coming there. I've been doing a lot more cycling and working with some new trainers and things like that. But I think it's just good that I'm out of my camper and back in the house and
Right.
back in these northern races that aren't far away. And we got a good group of guys riding with us up here in PA now, with the guys at the Coastal Ranch and Coastal Facility, and then the Tealy guys and a few other guys coming and going. Craig DeLong's up here, so it's been good.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you like the US, like the sprint enduro type races? It seemed like you always do pretty decent there.
Yeah, you do well there.
Yeah, I do like him. Preferably more the enduro test. I like it when it's more technical and
Mm-hmm.
a little less on the fastest side. But Billy's been doing a good job with them this year, and I ran them last year and had a blast. And then this year I think it's a great series. It's an awesome format, and it's a little less laid back too than GNCC.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a long weekend. Friday you got to be there biking the track, but you can go out and do a test, and you come back, and all the pro riders are normally sitting together, so we all huddle around, all staring at a phone, waiting for the times to come in, and then chat about the test and figure out who went where, and then we all take off on e-bikes before the next one. It's fun. It's a good little bit more relaxing than a GNCC, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still good racing.
Yeah. It's different racing a clock.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it's very fun as a racer. You'd be like, well, why am I racing a clock? I like to race somebody else. But you're racing somebody else plus yourself on a clock. It's kind of weird, and I think it's the most fun because you kind of get the bench race, like you were saying, like all you guys get back together and you're like talking about the lines and everything else. And I think that's the most fun part about that kind of racing.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's cool. I mean, National Enduros are good too. I did them in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it takes more. You got to have someone chasing you, and it's one day of racing, which is cool, but I think the sprints are more fun for spectators too, and people like that. National Enduros, you don't see much.
Well, like the National Enduros, you're not able to ride the tracks, or you're not able to bike the tracks. Do you like the ability to basically dissect lines like you can with an e-bike, and really kind of like almost memorize these tracks? Or do you like the ability to test your ability to read trail off a cuff and to make split-second decisions on situations where you haven't seen that trail before?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Sprint Enduro series, it's good to have the e-bikes and looking at the trail, just because you're racing the clock and it's pretty fast. So it's kind of nice to know what's on the other side of things and stuff like that. But I would be fine for GNCC to not have e-bikes.
Yeah.
That's been a big topic.
We've talked about this to a lot of you guys, and there's a lot of mixed reviews on that. But we what led us into that topic of conversation a lot has been a lot of the injuries.
Yeah.
And we have kind of come to the conclusion that there's so many different factors when it comes to these injuries. Like, you guys are able to run a top speed for so long,
mm-hmm.
and for so long during these races that you're riding on the edge for a lot longer. But then the ability to bike the track almost as much as you would race the track in a weekend gives you guys the ability to really be able to pinpoint the fastest lines and memorize the tracks. So you kind of I kind of agree. I think if you weren't able to see the track as much, it would actually help. Maybe help the situation of injuries and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so even on last year when we could bike it on Fridays, I mean, sometimes you do it twice on a Friday and then twice to 3 times on a Saturday, and or once on Friday, 3 times Saturday. I mean, there's a lot. When you go out there and see it the last time on Saturday evening, there's e-bike rides. It's like there's people being around it so many times, and lines change constantly, and there's hot lines here and there. And I think if they limit it to maybe Sunday only, or just take it away completely. But I don't think they would ever take it away completely, being specialized as a title sponsor.
Yeah.
Right. That's what everybody's been saying. It's going to be hard because e-bikes are awesome. I mean, it's good that we have the e-bike races
Right.
and all this, and they're coming to our sport. It's great to accept
If we ever
them.
want an e-bike sponsorship on the show, Brandon, you better not say to take them away.
I'm not. I'm just saying
Right.
it's going to be hard. It's a hard thing, and I don't know what to do, what the rule would be or whatever. But
I thought and we talked about this. I think we had Thad Duvall and we said this. Like, I thought it'd be cool if you could only
do it one time.
If you could do it one time, but then that is such a gray area, and you'd have guys to cut.
Right.
Yeah,
I think they should be like a session Saturday night or Sunday morning early. Yeah. You are not allowed to be on the track with an e-bike unless you are like 7:00 in the morning. E-bike session. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like set a time.
Yeah.
This is your time e-bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
But something like that. It's got to be something like that, because if not, everybody's just going to be out biking whenever, cutting into tracks.
I think it's good that they took Friday away. I think it's a lot better for us, because it was getting a little ridiculous there. Like, you were leaving Thursdays to just get to the race. Everyone else was biking on Friday, so you got to be there Friday morning, and it was getting out of hand. So I'm glad they took Friday away.
That's crazy. I couldn't imagine leaving for a race to get there. Like, I got to bike the track, man. That's crazy.
Have you ever almost gotten hit by a quad on Saturdays?
Yeah. So funny story. That's when I first met Stu. Was 2018 at Georgia. I was borrowing someone's e-bike. So in New Zealand, the brakes are around the other way.
Oh.
On a pedal bike. Oh. And I would just met Stu, and he's like, "Come bike with me." So I was like, "All right." Like, I looked up to Stu when I watched him at home. So I was like, "Oh yeah." So he's behind me, and he's yelling at me. He's like, "Quad coming." Well, we were going down a hill, and it looked like a sweet jump to hit on a bike. And I started ripping, took off on this e-bike, jumped it. Well, in the air, I grabbed the wrong brake, and as I landed, the brake I grabbed was the front brake. It was completely locked up, and I was in for in down a hill, and there was a quad like right behind me.
Oh man!
How awesome would that be if that quad had the GoPro on and got your crash or something?
Yeah. I've had some pretty good crashes, like getting my head around riding these bikes with the brake systems around the other way.
Around the right, yeah. That would be weird because you're so used to the brake being.
Was this before your first ever race in the U.S.?
No, this was round 3 in Georgia.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Florida.
I was gonna say, could you imagine that call back home, like, "Hey, Mom and Dad, like, I wrecked," right. And they're like, "Oh no, it was a bicycle that I wrecked."
Right.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked that is because I've ran a few of the ATV GNCCs the past couple of years, and I've noticed, like, man, there was a lot of e-bikes out during that afternoon race, and I've seen videos of guys almost getting hit, and you never see the pro dirt bike guys like typically getting close to getting hit. Like, what you had happen was a little bit different, but there's a lot of people out on the track sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I will not go out with pro quads or any quads on the track and bike it. Normally, I go out right as I think it's the 11 o'clock. The 4x4 quads, I'll sit at the finish line and wait for the checkered flag to go out and go as soon as the leader comes in. And normally I can make it back just before the pro quads start. And that's the safest time.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the safest time, because even though those quads are loud, they could probably sneak up on you if you weren't paying attention.
Right.
So we have a listener question. Bill Morris asks, do you have a go-to food or go-to meal the night before a race?
I normally eat either chicken, salmon, or something like that, but I think I know what he's getting at is I like to eat lamb, which is sheep.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
We remember XC Gear meant to ask why there's a sheep beside your.
Oh, that's why there's a goat. Yeah. Is that why there's a goat?
There's sheep. It's a sheep. It's
a
not a
sheep.
But
yeah. So at home I stayed on a farm a lot when I was growing up, and it's a sheep farm. And Stu always used to make fun of me and think that I put the back legs of a sheep and big tall muck boots and wear rubber gloves. And yeah, I'm sure there's some kids listening, so we won't finish it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
get what we're putting down.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
When I lived at Stu's,
We know Stu's humor.
pictures of sheep in the room I stayed in
Oh,
on the
geez.
roof and on the walls and stuff. And now my helmets on the back of them have sheep on them.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I like it. That's funny. Oh, geez. I can only imagine that would probably go on. That probably went on the whole 2 years you lived there, right?
Oh yeah, it was constantly something. You were just waiting for the next thing, like what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
It was fun though. I mean, there's not many people that would open their home up to someone they've never really met to live with them, and Stu and Jade did that, and it was awesome. I learned a lot.
I'm sure you're probably telling your mom some of this stuff, and she's probably like, "I told you to stay away from those guys."
Yeah, like there's some fun. Yeah, I could tell stories upon stories of some of the stuff he's done. I've seen.
I bet, yeah. No, geez.
So, well, mentioning food though, like, what is the biggest difference, coming over here? Like, did you have to like get used to get accustomed to the food over here? Was that something that was an issue for you, or were you able to kind of pick it up and run when you got here?
It was quite a bit different. I feel like the food over here is twice as big. Like the servings are twice as big for a start.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I get upset because I think it's not as big.
Yeah. Like I went to LA first, and I got like a burger in LA airport, and it was ginormous. And I'm like, there's no burger in New Zealand that compares to how big this thing is. But no, I think everything's just a little more processed over here than what it is at home. And things like you guys put a lot of sauces on things like mayonnaise, ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd never really heard of ranch until I came here.
Really?
Oh man, ranch is like a staple here.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Can I have ranch? Can I have ranch?" I'm like, with wings, with burgers, with fries, salads.
Ranch and Mountain Dew. It's what we live off of in West Virginia.
Ranch kind of counteracts the benefits of a salad a little bit.
Right.
Oh shoot. So you probably
it wasn't too bad. I stayed in my van for 2 months, so it was kind of living off cheap kind of meals, and then when I moved to Stu's, he loves to cook, so it was like big, good meals. And now my girlfriend cooks good meals, and I eat pretty healthy and try to. But after the races, it's straight to a fast food restaurant. Or
which leads us to a good question.
Pizzas or.
Yeah, that actually leads us to our toughest question of the podcast. What would be we always ask this to every guest that comes on the show, and I don't know if there's a fast food restaurant over in New Zealand that you would choose, but we always say, what would be your favorite fast food restaurant, and also what would be your favorite candy if you had to pick one?
I'd probably say Zaxby's for the fast food place. All those southern races, we love to get Zaxby's on a Sunday night after a race. And then I like Snickers peanut butter.
Oh, okay. Nice. Now, I tell you, like, and I don't know if it's just me, but like after a race, like I can never get enough food. What about you, Brandon?
Right. Yeah, I can't.
Like, is that the same for you, Liam, or do you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I'll order a couple burgers and some fries.
A couple U.S. burgers at that, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's gotten accustomed.
I make a complete mess. Like I'll order it, drive through, or pick it up or whatever, and just carry on driving home. And Mickey's looking at me sideways. I got barbecue sauce and ranch all over my face, fries laying on the floor. And
man, you've been completely Americanized. Like you were talking about, like no sauces, and now you're ordering ranch, 2 burgers and all the sauces.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No,
great.
Yeah, my wife will be like after a race, she would look at me like, are you still hungry? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, listen, I just burnt like 4,000 calories. It's okay.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy what you put your body through, and then feel like absolute crap afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Then go and do it again the next
I know
weekend.
it's like I can't wait till next weekend.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Right.
So you're talking about, let's just, before we let you go, you talk about you're hoping that it's muddy this weekend. And is this a track that you like in the Ironman track, and with it potentially being muddy, like, is that something you're really looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, to be kind of honest, I wish I was at Ironman last year for the last race in that mud. But I was laid up on the couch, so I'm hoping it's muddy, but I don't want it to be that muddy because it just trashes stuff and takes the next week to clean your camper. But I would like it to be on the muddier side rather than the dry side.
Well, Austin Abney lives 25 minutes from there, and he said it's going to be muddy. It's most likely. Yeah, he said it's been rain Monday, Tuesday, nothing today, but then another inch of rain on Friday or tomorrow, and then Friday thunderstorms. So
yeah, he said it'll probably dry out about Monday, the Monday after the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good with me. I mean, my mechanic may not like the cleanup, but I like riding mud.
Hey, I think, if you have a really good finish, I think your mechanic could be okay with the cleanup after a really good finish. Huh?
Right. Yeah. Makes the cleanup nicer when you go home with a trophy.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Well, we're in your corner, man. We're rooting for you. Want to see you do good this weekend. And we might actually be at the next
John Penn.
We'll be at the John Penn for sure.
Oh, the Mountain State.
Mountain State.
Yeah.
If we're at the next Mountain State, we'll hit you up and talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. I plan to be at the Mountain State and hit as many locals around this area as I can.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Well, hey, man, we really appreciate your time coming on the show. We appreciate getting listeners from New Zealand. That's pretty awesome. That's a first
worldwide.
That's right.
We're going to be split line worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah. That's a movie reference.
Yeah,
so, Liam, thanks for coming on the show, man. And we appreciate your time tonight, and we'll be talking to you down the road.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, hey, we actually had one last question come in. Just pop in for you. And they want to know how you liked the A-Works last weekend, and it was a mutter.
A-Works last weekend was a blast. I had a lot of fun.
How'd you end up doing there?
I won there.
Nice. The A-Works always puts on a really nice
good series.
Yeah, they always put a really nice series on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna miss 2 more, but I'll be able to finish the rest of them.
Oh, okay.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, man, good luck this weekend. And like I said, as soon as we get to a track that you're at, we'll swing by and say hey to you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you down the road.
All right.
Later.
Yeah.
All right, man.
New Zealand, man.
Yeah, that was. Hey. Thanks for coming on the show, Sue. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We appreciate you listening. So it's pretty cool having Liam on and having his family listen.
Yeah.
I could not imagine.
Oh, I couldn't. My wife wants me to move to like the Carolinas, and I'm like, no, I can't. I got my family here.
Wait. You're gonna move?
No, she wants me to move. Like she wants to
Listen,
go
I
warm.
am not good enough at this podcast stuff to be having like a Zoom connection and like some janky
she's
like gypsy tales style show.
Right.
Like, we can't do that.
I'm just saying, like she wants me to move to like the Carolinas. I'm like, no, like I got family here. How are you supposed to like just get up and move? I couldn't do it. So props to him, man. If he can, moving from a country 20 hours away, like, that's insane.
It's literally 12:30 over there on Thursday.
Wednesday. Yeah.
They're living in the future. They're living in the future.
Tell me who wins the World Series or something. Just to win some money.
So no, but like I said, coming clear across the world to chase your dreams into 2, it's such an admirable thing to do. And I really like to hear like who he was able to have as a mentor. And it's really cool. The GNCC series, he has a lot to choose from. And I really like, we had Josh Strang on the show a while back. We need to get him on the show again soon, especially since he's back riding. He has really taken a leadership role in mentoring a lot of people that come overseas and to chase the same dream that he was chasing. So, I knew that would be a good mentor for him to have. Stu's a pretty good mentor as well.
Yeah. I'm surprised having that kind of mentor. He doesn't have a criminal record. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I mean, could you imagine coming over from New Zealand, no guns or anything like that, hooking up with Stu and hopping in a truck and look over and you're like, there's a 45 or something and 9mm the other door. And,
yeah, but I tell you what though, Stu gets into a lot of stuff like with the bow fishing and everything, but he teaches these guys like Liam, let's have fun.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit with Austin. I really love the push for let's make this a fun sport. It doesn't, you can be serious because there's really nobody more serious than Stu.
Right.
When it comes to results.
I'm sure, like you said, he puts a show on, not really a show, but he shows us his fun side. He doesn't really show us his serious side.
But does he though?
On race day he does.
When he talks to us, he's a very confident person.
Mm-hmm.
And some people it could come off as cocky, but other people it's like
mm-hmm.
I just know what to expect of myself. This is my job.
It goes back to Coach Rob and mindset.
Yeah.
If in my mind that I can beat you every time, I'm going to beat you every time.
He's already beat you. Yeah. And then Stu talks a lot about when Caleb Russell was racing, how Caleb wasn't worried about anybody else. Right. And that's wherever all these guys have to be. And, I don't know how we've gotten off on this tangent.
I was going to say, that brings me to my next question. Since Strang's back, Stu's back riding, do you think Ben Kelly gets that sweep or thinks he goes undefeated or now since everybody's coming back or what?
Well, I still don't think we see Stu this weekend. I don't think we see him this
if you can ride National Enduro, you know how Stu is.
I know how
I didn't think he'd be riding right now. I didn't think he'd be back on a bike.
I know. And it would be hard to I know there's a chance. There's a chance.
It's Stu,
the more
the
more you talk about it, he's not, if he's back on a bike, he might be racing.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's going out balls wall, but I would be very surprised for him not to line up because I'm like, well, you can ride that. Why can't you go and ride this?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's my thought.
No, absolutely. So that kind of leads us into the picks for the weekend. Let's go ahead and get our we've not done this in a while.
I know. Feels weird.
We got some practice. Hey guys, make sure that you go play Split Line Fantasy this weekend. If you've never played before, again? We are winning a Guts Racing seat cover.
All right. Customized, right? You can get it's not just a plain black one. No. You send us collars and everything. Guys.
No. Andy Gregg over there at Guts Racing, phenomenal dude.
Awesome dude.
He loves putting Guts seat covers on any bike that he can, and he was gracious enough to give us one to give away, custom ordered for ATV, dirt bike, whatever, for the winner of the Split Line Fantasy. Now, what's cool is we've been doing this will be our 6th round. Mm-hmm. We've not had one person win twice yet.
Right.
So the first time we have somebody win 2 prizes, we might have to change up the way we give away prizes.
Right.
But
I don't know. You earned it.
Yeah.
You earned it.
That's true. Maybe if they win a 3rd one.
Maybe
if they win a 3rd one. So if you've never played before, all you got to do is go to Instagram or Facebook and send us your team. We post the handicaps. If you don't know how to play, we have a YouTube video on our YouTube channel that teaches you how to play the game.
You know what we're really bad at? When we start this podcast, we never say share or like or anything. But if you can, share this video.
Hey, listen, we are worldwide now.
Worldwide. We don't need shares.
Miss Sue Draper is listening to us from New Zealand. So, that's about as sharing as you can get.
Yeah.
We appreciate the listeners and we appreciate all you guys. Honestly, if you we really appreciate the support that we've gotten from this show. It's grown a lot.
Yeah,
Whenever we were talking to Austin and talking about the first couple of shows that we did in his XC2 season, like it really was like our moms listening.
Yeah, it was. We had like 3 people, right?
We didn't have very many people, but we really appreciate the support and how far this came. I don't really want to talk about that too much because you guys didn't come on this show to listen to us have a sappy story about how cool this show is, but it's been cool to be able to have this place to come and talk to you guys.
What I love is like
because we're better talking about it than we are doing it.
Yeah, well, at this point in our lives, anyways. I mean, we never went pro or anything, but
could have done it.
Could have done it, man.
Throw a pigskin quarter mile.
No, I mean, what I think is really cool about it is like at the track, people come up and we're talking. Like I just love talking to people about racing, man. I love. Dirt bikes, there's motocross, GNCCs, hair scrambles. I love it all. Yeah. I love all the racing there is about it.
And we follow it all religiously.
We try to. Yeah. I mean, we might miss something here and there, but as much as we can, like we follow from Mountain State hair scrambles clear up to Supercross, GNCC, motocross. We don't get really over into the work series type stuff over there on the West Coast, unless our boys like Hunter Harder over there racing. Right. But, we try to stay on the East Coast. We try to stay on the East Coast and Midwest racing. Right. Yeah, for sure. So, man, before we just talked about doing our picks and we didn't do them. Oh yeah. So, jeez. So do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first? I'll go quads first. You go bikes first. Okay, go ahead. Go quads first. Quads. Devin Feehan's going to win. Bryson Neal second, Fowler third. And that's it. I know who you're picking for bikes to win. Who's that? Because you have to. Well, I don't know. I want you guys, if you listeners, I want you guys to blow Stu Baylor up so bad where you have to make a post this week if he's racing or not. Because I need to know. I need to know if Stu's racing. If he would race, where do you think he would finish? Well, it all depends. 3 hours is tough. 3 hours is tough. Strings back. But he's so mentally tough, though. You know what I mean? That dude will suffer out there. He will suffer. I know. But if he would have been able to train over this injury, then I'm with you. But the fact that he wasn't able to move and he was basically forced to be couched. I don't know. It makes it tough. Now he came off the couch last time over the summer break, but he was able to train. Yeah, he was able to keep his stamina up. I would say that he could still top 10 it though. Oh, for sure. I would say top 5. I would say if he's not on the podium, he's right off of it. I say that now, but like knowing full well, like if he does put himself through that. And is able to progress. By the time we get to snowshoe, he could be back to form. If he does ride this weekend, we're looking at muddy conditions. Slows down the pace, and I think he can. I think it gives him a better chance. What do you think? But the mud will slow down the pace. It can't run as fast in the mud. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, what's your quad picks? Oh, hey, Liam texted us and said he is not racing. Oh, man. Liam would know. Dang on it. I was sitting there, like, who is this real quick? But, like, it's Liam because, like, I just I hadn't put it in my phone yet. He's not racing. All right. So that's the end of that debate. Or way to go. Thank you. Thanks, Liam, for ruining it. Thanks for ruining it, man. You ruined Brandon's night. Oh, jeez. But, no, I'm going to, for ATVs, I'm going to go dark horse. Oh, geez. Not too dark horse, though. I'm going to go Hunter. Hunter? Okay. Hunter for the win. Yeah. I mean, I think that, he's feeling it. I was listening to him on Hardcore Harvey's Life Behind the Pros with the Pros last night. And Hunter, I think he can pull off the win. And then I think it's a toss-up between Walker and Bryson, but I'm gonna go Hunter, Bryson, Walker, and then just off the podium, I'm gonna go Austin Abney. I think he has a good run. Abney. Yeah, he can have a good run. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Especially like I said, especially the mud. I like. You know who I think would be fun to see them battle is him and Feehan. Yeah, or as you like to call Feehan. Feehan. Yeah. I love it. He probably hates me, but it's funny to say. I don't know. Send him that T-shirt every time.
He wouldn't hate you so much.
I know, right? Every time I say it, it just brings a smile to my face. So it does you too. Every time I say it, you just laugh.
It does. I just think of somebody playing hockey. I can't help it. But okay, over on the bike side, I mean, I'm gonna pick Ben until Ben doesn't win.
Okay.
Ben's just kind of in a league of his own right now. He kind of seems to be doing it so effortlessly. And then I'm gonna pick Ashburn, and then I'm gonna say if Strang's racing, Liam. If I'm wrong about that, make sure let me know. But if Strang's racing, I'm gonna say Strang comes off the couch and gets a third because he has been able to train over this time. I've seen him on the bike riding. I've seen him on a quad blitzing through a rhythm section with one arm. So if he can do that, I think that he's going to be able to come back to full form because like whenever he left the series, he was finishing in the podium positions. He was finishing second.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's been doing some riding because even after 4 weeks ago.
Strang will be racing. Thank you, Liam. Correspondence.
That's right. I like
Liam, do you want to be our
producer?
Our producer.
No, but like 4 weeks ago, so I'm gonna say Strang was at the point to where he was almost going to race. You know that race.
No,
so,
I agree.
So I'm sure these last 3 weeks he's been on the bike. He's been riding. He's good to go. But I'm going to go with another dark horse because it's going to be muddy this weekend. I'm going to say Grant Baylor wins. What do you think about that? He was just come off the podium.
Just came off the podium. Had a good run at the sprint at the
National Enduros.
At the National Enduros.
Yep, he's good at that stuff. If it's muddy, technical, he's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of bike ruts.
So you have him finishing where?
First place.
Nice.
He's going to win. Mm-hmm. He's going to win. And then I'm going to go Jordan Ashburn and then Big and Kelly on the podium with a Craig DeLong close fourth.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I see it at. Any of those four can switch. I just get tired of picking Big and Kelly right now at this point. We gotta hope that there's somebody that's got.
Well, okay, but at the end of the day, like if he,
I mean, if he wins them all, he wins them all.
If he wins them all,
but I don't think he will.
But I mean, it'd be cool to see history be made, right?
Or
would you rather see history be made when the full field is in?
Like now, if everybody was in, Stu was healthy,
he wouldn't be able to win.
And all the top contenders were healthy, and he won every race. I'd be like, dude, that's insane. You know what I mean? Right now, it's like, okay. I mean, I see you, Ben Kelly.
But you gotta be there to win.
Yeah, you do. I mean, that's just part of racing. I mean,
there'll be no asterisk beside it.
No. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the dude. Like, he's still a bad dude. But
I'm disappointed. You know what the funny thing is? I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna change my pick right now. I'm going to go Ashburn first and Ben Kelly second, just because you have picked Ashburn to win every single round this year, and you said I'm going to pick Ashburn to win until he wins.
I was going to, and I feel like I'm that guy that bought that jersey and like ruined his whole season. So I'm going to lay off of him a little bit.
So the one weekend you don't pick him is going to be the weekend that he wins. So I'm picking him. Jordan Ashburn for the win this weekend.
Oh, geez. I love it. No, it's going to be a fun weekend. Did you see that guy that was like parked there since Tuesday? I think the Bottleneck Live put it up there.
Somebody that lives there has to just like drop their stuff off, right? They're not staying there. They're not staying there, are they?
I mean, it was a big camper, so
I need to see somebody outside, like with cooking hot dogs, like that,
and everything,
before I believe that somebody's staying there.
I mean, where's he getting all this water from?
Well, the water doesn't drain very well in Indiana, right? That's kind of what Austin told us.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be good, man.
Let's shut this show down. We're almost at 2 hours, Brandon. I need you to go ahead and. Hey, if you guys haven't heard, don't leave just yet. Don't leave just yet. Yeah. The best sponsor read is coming up.
The sponsor read,
and this is how you guys, Liam, Austin. Like, if you guys get on the podium, like, witness an expert here.
An expert. I love it.
On reading off the sponsor list. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, guys. Listen, Guts Racing stands for tricks. All right, that T in there, it's trick. All right, trick seats. Greg's ultimate trick seats, gotta love it. So if you want a trick seat, dude, I mean, what's better to come in your garage and see it nice? I mean, the bike already looks good, right? It's already looking good, but then you get that nice seat. You're just like, dude, look at that seat.
Sick, bro.
Gotta love that. But dude, they're awesome over there. Support Andy, Greg, and them. They're an awesome company. They really support us really well, and to support them. Still Savers, guys, money. If you love saving money, all right, affordable products.
Which
affordable.
right now you need to save money.
Right, save money. Gas prices going back up, man.
Did they go down?
They just a tad. I mean, did you see the Sam's Club? It was like $3.67 or something. It was like a line clear to Georgia or something. I don't know. But anyways, save money right now, guys. You can even save money with a great sponsor code. What's Split Line? Capital S. Save 25% already on affordable prices. It'll save your forks, your seals, Apple Watch, Polar Watch, whatever. Even some palm savers. Need some palm savers. They'll hook you up. Some thumb savers. Right.
If you don't have them this weekend in the mud in Indiana, you're going to wish you would.
Yeah, I think they might even have something for the grips or something, like to cover them up. Sunstar Channel Sprockets. Best. If you guys are going to run in the mud this weekend, get you a good sealed up chain from Sunstar Channel Sprockets, man. It's what I run. So a lot of Austin Abney runs them. If you don't trust them, I think Hunter Hart even runs them. Bryson Neal runs them. Dude, check them out. They're an awesome product.
Made of case hardened steel.
Case hardened steel, man.
That's right.
So that's what you tell the ladies. Case hardened steel. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, but awesome. If you want to save some money, 30% off. The code SPLITLINE.
SPLITLINE 30.
Yeah, SPLITLINE 30. And if you want to, after you get all that done, and you want a little bit of comfort, right? A little bit of comfort,
cushion,
little cushion. I wanted to say it. Anyways, XC gear is where you want to be, right? They're a little pricey, not really pricey, but a little bit of money, but it's a great investment. It is a great investment.
Best bar mount, best bar clamp you can have.
Right. Great investment, guys. Anti-vibe. Awesome. So Mako 360.
Put it on the bike.
Yep. Hammerhead.
When you're riding the trails, riding the trails with Liam.
Right.
Put the.
He definitely needs to make the hammerhead for that. Yeah,
yep,
definitely needs the hammerhead. And then guys, be like Liam Draper and Adam McGill and go run Mountain State Hare Scramble Series, guys.
After you get all that stuff on your bike, take it to the Mountain State Hare Scramble Series.
Right, and have fun.
We
always lose the fun of it most of the time.
Yeah.
Even though we only race for plaques and not money. And
we talked to Austin about it. Bringing back the fun of the sport. That's what it's all about.
I gotta find the fun of it again.
Yeah.
Not really. Like, just you're beat down. You're tired. Just gotta go have some fun, man.
Yeah,
Get loose.
Next week, Jeff Harvey will be joining us in the studio. Yeah. We're gonna be talking a lot of ATV racing. Going to be talking a lot about
how Ironman went in Hoosier.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good show.
We hopefully have some couple guests to be announced.
We have a few in mind.
Yeah. Let us know who you might want to listen to Jeff Harvey and us talk to over the line. So if you have any suggestions, hit us up. And don't forget your picks, guys.
Get your picks in for the Split Line Fantasy. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up on Facebook.
I think Liam Draper is going to be on mine. Mud Rider. Yep.
I think Liam and Austin are going to be on my teams. Yep. You guys are on the team. So get your guys' picks in. We've been having almost 100 players play every single week. It's been a lot of fun. So get in on the action, man.
Yep.
And
thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the show. Episode 74.
That's a closer.
Let's go. Peace. Stop this conversation.
Night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, all of the darkness filled my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. No relation. It's crazy.